Well, welcome everybody. Today it's our privilege to talk to Hayden Sanders. He graduated in 2018 from Presbyterian College. Hayden played football and majored in business administration and is currently working in the sales world. He's going to tell us a little more about that in just a minute, but first I want to brag on him. Hayden took my management class a couple of years, I guess, before he graduated, and he owned CapSim. I mean, he was Mr. CapSim, the king of CapSim. So the first thing he did is he figured out a strategy to get his team ready, and they all kind of followed what he did. He was the team leader very clearly, and they dominated CapSim competition throughout the course of the class. At the end, he and a teammate, not within his team, but another classmate, decided to compete in the international CapSim competition, and they came in 14th in the world. Folks, that is the 94th percentile for CapSim in the world. That was really cool. So I was so proud, and congratulations to you. You made PC look good. You put us on the map for that. That was a lot of fun. Well, tell us a little about your background professionally and what you did after you graduated, and maybe how you got your first jobs, things that would interest students who were currently kind of going along that route.
Yeah, of course. So, like you said, I was at PC, played football, was in the same club, had two internships in college. One was a financial internship at a Northwestern Mutual, and the second one was a financial internship at King Financial. I watched The Wolf of Wall Street and thought I wanted to work on Wall Street in finance, so I did a bunch of financial internships. And the King Financial internship I actually got because of CapSim. So what happened was when me and my partner did well in CapSim, I think we were actually #1 in America and #14 in the world.
Wow.
And there was the news story that was written about us that was on the PC website and the PC Twitter account, and then some local news sites, and then in the paper in Charlotte. And King Financial is a financial firm right outside of Charlotte, and they saw the story and actually called me and offered me a job, an internship in college, and then a job post-grad from the CapSim story. So I thought that was really cool, that CapSim was able to open up a door like that. And then, so that was what I did before my senior year of college. And then after I graduated, I took a couple months to interview. Lynn Downey in the careers department told me that for every good job offer you want to get that you really, really enjoy, or that is a standout job offer, you're going to have to reach out to 100 recruiters and go on at least 10 or 20 interviews. So my goal was to do twice that. So I reached out to about 200 recruiters. I think I went on 2 or 3 interviews a day for a month or two. I think I went on about 60 or 70 interviews in the Southeast, everywhere from Charlotte to Atlanta, everywhere in between. And I narrowed it down to Keyence and one other job. Ended up picking Keyence as my first job. And I worked there for 18 months. It's pretty hardcore incentive-based sales job. Lots of customized solutions in terms of factory automation. So I was going to large manufacturing facilities like Bridgestone Tires or Oreos, or these huge, massive places where they're manufacturing millions of dollars of goods a day, and helping them streamline their process, and was basically commissioned to do that in terms of service and hardware. And I was working with solutions that ranged from something as simple as like $1,000 quick fix up to $120,000 solution. Did really well at Keyence, became the top salesperson in the country, and closed the biggest deal in region history. And then right after I did that, I updated my resume, and I was getting a bunch of calls. And I got a call from Honeywell last November, and they were wanting me to come in for an interview for an account manager job. So I went to the interview, and they gave me a job offer, and we had about 3 or 4 months of negotiation. And then I ended up accepting a job in March. And the job I'm currently working, it's an account manager role. So I'm working with very specific niche strategic accounts. So think of places like Amazon, Costco, Publix, basically our biggest, highest buying power clients. And I'm doing business to business deals. So if they're buying something from my company, I'm the one facilitating that. I have a team of people that I help manage. And I operate in the deal range of anywhere from $100,000 to $5 million is like a daily thing that I work with. And that can get all the way up to hundreds of millions of dollars, depending on the company, depending on the project. So that's kind of the range that I work in and what I'm doing currently.
That's really cool. I love it. So what do you like best about your job?
Yeah. So I'd say the thing that I like the best, and the reason I got into sales is because I like those big wins. I like when you have a really, really tough client, or there's a lot of hurdles that you have to jump over, or there's an issue that somebody else at the organization can't figure out, or they can't find an answer to, and it's your job to come in and figure out how to get from point A to point B to point C and bring your team and the customer along with you. And then when you can get everybody on the same page and get everybody going towards a common goal, you're going to get the sale, and then you're going to get a win, and then you're going to feel great, and you're going to get a big commission check. So that's probably the thing I like most about my job is, working with people, managing people, as well as trying to get my team of people and the customer's team of people all on the same page, all working towards a common goal.
So it sounds like it's a problem-solving kind of role that is a win-win for everybody when you solve the problem successfully.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every single solution is customizable. I mean, we're talking lead times on these of 6 to 12 to 18 months per deal. They're not things that just happen overnight. I work with any one deal can involve 100 people up to, and that's something that I would be managing everybody on. So everything is completely customized. It's all completely customized for that customer. So that is a huge aspect of the job that I like for sure.
That's great. Do you have any crazy stories? I mean, you've been out for 2 years, and I know sometimes crazy things happen. Anything that you want to tell about?
Yeah. So my first job at Keyence, definitely a lot more aggressive and metrics based than this job. And I have a story. So I am a big fan of music festivals and concerts. And I was in Las Vegas for 4 days, partying at this music festival all weekend. And I flew back and I took a red eye to get back to work Tuesday morning. And I drove 4 hours from my office up to my first meeting in Northern Virginia from Raleigh, and had meetings for 10 hours. And then at the end of the day, I got in a car accident, actually totaled my car. So I had meetings about 7 hours the next day, southeast of where I already was in Northern Virginia. So I took an Uber from where I was down to Raleigh, got my stuff together, and then woke up the next morning and got a rental car and went to all my meetings the next day. And the reason I did this is not because I wanted to or it was fun, but the rating system and the commission check doesn't really care that I got in a wreck. And I figured the only way I was going to get a bigger bonus and get myself higher on the ranking board in terms of most sales dollars or most sales was to get out there and go to my meetings regardless of what adversity I was facing that day.
Wow, that's a really crazy story, but it also shows that you have that power of persistence and that you are going to win no matter what. It's going to happen. You're going to make it happen. That's great. If I were your customer, I would be happy.
Oh my gosh, the look on their face when I told them I took a 4-hour Uber to get to them was wish I had a picture of that one.
Right. So do you have any life lessons or advice for current students who might want to go into sales as a career?
Yes. So the biggest thing that I've learned is that you need to embrace rejection. Rejection is your friend in any industry. It doesn't have to be sales, where there are aggressive numbers that you need to hit, or your boss is breathing down your neck. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be sales, marketing, management. Embrace rejection, because for every yes you get, you're going to get 20 no's. And the only way to get more of those no's to be yeses is to learn from the no's. So try your best, because you're going to get a lot of rejection early in your sales career, a ton of it, way more than you ever thought you need. But every time you get a no, there's going to be something in there that you can learn, whether it's the pitch or the close or how to question the customer better. or try to figure out what's going on in their head or their customer's head. There's always something that you can learn to kind of fine tune what you're doing and to return more of those no's to yeses. And you can't really get discouraged by a lot of the no's, because I might walk in an orange shirt and my customer might hate Clemson and he might not buy from me, and it could be something as simple as that. But yeah, you just have to be persistent in the path that you're trying to follow and believe that you're doing the correct thing. You're going to get good coaching from your mentors and your managers, and you're going to know what you need to do. And you just have to believe in it, regardless of how much rejection you get. And I think that that's a really simple and cliche thing to say, but I think it's something that I'd certainly live by in my professional career.
Yeah, that's really profound. I don't know that I wouldn't call it a cliche, because you don't hear that every day, maybe in the sales world, but that's good advice. I appreciate that. So PC's motto is Dum Vivimus Servimus. While we live, we serve. In fact, I just got some socks from the Alumni Association with Dum Vivimus Servimus around the top of them. They're plaid socks. If you haven't gotten your socks yet, then you will. They're pretty cool. So are you involved in any service activities outside of work?
Yeah. So my mom has actually ran a charity for about 30 years called Kids First of the Carolinas out of Charlotte, and all over North and South Carolina. They help families get Christmas gifts, get Thanksgiving dinner, get kids school supplies, housing, cars, anything you can think of. They've helped tens of thousands of families and children that didn't have food or housing situations get what they need to get through the day. And I, outside of my work, I'm on the board and help with volunteer coordination. So in terms of getting high school and below and some college age kids into the volunteer program and getting them to volunteer year over year, that's what I do. So I would go to a lot of the local schools and try to get the Key Club or the Service Club or whatever kind of club that they had that was in parallel to that to come volunteer. And I did the same thing when I was in college playing football. I tried to get some of the other football players and the coaches and some of the other athletes to come volunteer as well. So yeah, in my free time outside of my job, I'm helping out with my mom's charity.
That's great. I love how you're taking those persuasive, influential sales skills that you have and turning it into something that's helping people in real life too. That's great.
I mean, it's great.
So what do you like to do for fun?
Oh yeah. So luckily a lot of sales and marketing and management jobs and anything in really the business field, everybody's moving more and more towards unlimited time off, which is great because allows for a lot more vacation time. So I love to go, on long weekends to music festivals and travel around. So like last year I went to New York and Florida and Atlanta and Vegas and Chicago and a bunch of other different places just to go to these big festivals and these big concerts. And I think that's a blast. I get to dress up, take my shirt off, paint my body, go crazy with all my friends and go party with, 300,000 of my closest friends in some giant stadium for the weekend. Then I get back Monday night and put on my suit and tie and go sell Tuesday morning. So, I wouldn't have it any other way. So I love to do that. And, I work out every day for a couple hours, do a little personal training in my free time. So, when I'm not raving on the weekend or selling during the week, I'm, working out or walking the dog.
Great. Thanks. Okay. One last question. When you were a student, was it GDH or Springs?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I think I went to GDH once in 5 years. I stayed in Georgia for most of my college career. So my prerogative was, waking up 8 minutes before class started, running to Springs as fast as I could, getting a parfait bowl and a protein bar, and then running over to the business building and sliding into Scarborough's class at 7:59. And then, running to all my classes, going to do my tutoring, and then going back to Springs, grabbing a sandwich, and then running to football practice. So I liked Springs a lot because you could be in and out really quick, especially in between all the classes and the football practices and stuff. So definitely a Springs person.
Awesome. That's great. Well, Hayden, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, you got it. I appreciate it.
Okay, I think